Joining us now, Elaine Parker. She's the president of the Job Creators Network Foundation, and she is the mastermind behind the Healthcare for You plan, which they developed from the grassroots up by talking to 25,000 people. Up, not down. Patients, young, old, wealthy, poor, middle class, working class, upper class, you name it. Black, white, Hispanic, it didn't matter. They talked to them all. And that's how they built their plan, which has now been adopted by the White House and is likely to be a linchpin of the president's reelection campaign and could go in the RNC platform, which as a national delegate, if I make it again, I'll be pushing for that right on the floor. And I'll probably get on the rules committee. And so I'll be wanting the RNC to adopt this. And any member can bring this to the floor, and I'm planning on doing it. So I got a lot of time between now and Charlotte, but I'll be working with them on that. Anyway, this coming Saturday is Small Business Saturday. Everybody knows about Black Friday, right? Stand in line and get hit over the head with a box. But this coming Saturday is officially Small Business Saturday. And joining us to talk about it is Elaine Parker, the president of the Job Creators Network Foundation. Elaine, great to have you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, John. Thanks for having me.
Everybody knows what Black Friday is. But Small Business Saturday, it's kind of a new concept that falls by the wayside if we don't talk about it. Can you elaborate on big things happening on Small Business Saturday?
Yeah, so in between Black Friday and Cyber Monday is Small Business Saturday, and it continues getting more and more popular. It's an annual tradition. It's been around for about a decade, and it gives Americans an opportunity to support their local small businesses by doing their shopping at a small business. And total consumer spending on Small Business Saturdays has surpassed $100 billion. So people really are taking note of their neighbors and friends and family and local small businesses, and they are patronizing them. And that's really important to the Job Creators Network because we represent small business. And there's 30 million small businesses in this country today, and they employ half the workforce. They are the backbone of this economy, John. So it's very important that Americans get out there and support their local small businesses.
You know, Elaine, and the thing I love about it is when you think of Black Friday, here's what you think about. You think about big box stores, right? Best Buy, Walmart, this, that, Home Depot. I mean, you think of the big boxers. I mean, I just got, here's an example, and I don't do a lot of Black Friday, but, there's things that we need. So think we need a new bed for somebody, for one of the spare rooms, right? Got some people coming. So we're going to go to the big box store to get the bed. And then I need a bunch of stuff for my son for baseball. So we got this 50% off or something, 35% off coupon in the mail from Sporty Goods, not small, Dick's, right? Big chain. Then we're going to go buy a TV at Best Buy. So there it is on Friday. You got three major big box stores. That's what everybody thinks of. But the thing I love about Small Business Saturday is it gets you thinking about, okay, are there small businesses in my area where I might need something and I can go buy it there? And this has been, it's been, I know it's been a decade, but only the last couple of seasons has it really taken off.
I absolutely agree, John. And, you know, not only can holiday shoppers snag unique gifts that they'd be hard-pressed to find in some of those, big box stores that you mentioned, but the local economies of these small businesses actually receive a pretty big boost. In 2018, for every dollar spent during Small Business Saturday, 67 cents remained in the local community. And according to new polling conducted among the grassroots members of our organization, the Job Creators Network Foundation, 9 out of 10 of the respondents believe that shopping holiday has a positive impact on the community. So, that's very positive. We also have a poll that 91% of respondents prefer to support small businesses when it's convenient. So there's a lot of opportunity. There's a huge value proposition going to a small business. Potentially it might be your neighbor running the small business and patronizing those stores. And then there's always the unique gifts. And in my case, I don't like to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to hit those stores on Black Friday. So I would prefer to go on Saturday myself.
Well, look, that's the thing. I mean, you don't have the lines, but you can get the same savings. And it's always good to shop at a small business in your community, your neighborhood, your area, your jurisdiction, because it's employing local people, most likely has a local owner or a franchise owner. And as you said, found out that 9 out of 10 respondents in your poll believe that shopping holiday has that shopping for a small business has a positive impact on the community, because that money is staying right there, right? You go to Best Buy, I mean, it's going to Minnesota, right? You go to Joe's TV place in Virginia Beach, it's staying in Virginia Beach because that's where they work, spend their money, raise their children, et cetera. So that's really the difference. Plus, you get a better level of service. And the other thing you said is it benefits the broader economy as well, right? Because small business, I think you said that when you look at the impact the small business has, it has an exponentially bigger impact economically than a big business has. Explain what that means.
Well, it's that value proposition. I mean, you're shopping potentially in your neighbor's business. You're supporting your local pizza restaurant. You're supporting, your local hairdresser, or a local unique store that sells unique gifts that are handmade. And those are value propositions that you just can't get in a big box store. And while participating in Small Business Saturday is a great first step, and I encourage everyone to go out on Saturday, we should support these businesses all year long, because they've been one of the major driving forces behind this white-hot economy that has benefited Americans all this whole last year. And that's a great opportunity. They employ half of our workforce. So every time we shop at a small business, we're helping not only the 30 million small business owners, but we're helping the 60 million people that they employ and their families.
So tell me walk us through the history, right? Because I kind of remember when Cyber Monday came into being. Obviously, a lot of people shop online now. And I was reading something the other day that said that there was only a 14% difference in savings between Black Friday items and Cyber Monday items. 14%. So I was thinking to myself, okay, so why would I stand in line for 2 hours if there's only a 14% difference if I just ordered through Amazon on Cyber Monday? 14% is not a lot. I mean, if it's a big ticket item, it is. But walk us through the history of Small Business Saturday. How did it start?
So, it's an opportunity about a decade ago. American Express has been a big push behind it as well. They actually started it, and, it really is an opportunity to recognize our small businesses. And, we are seeing small businesses in this economy really compete with those big box stores. And we believe it really has a lot to do with that value proposition and the idea that you can get better service, you can get those unique gifts, and you can support your local economy. And it is a big boost to the local economy in general. I mean, over the course of 2019, there's been almost 2 million jobs created, and the unemployment rate continues to dip. It's at 3.5%. That's the lowest level since Americans walked on the moon. And wage growth has surpassed 3% every month. And so, when you look at what's driving this, it really is small business that is the driver of all of this. And despite all the efforts by the media to discourage the public with the gloom and the doom, and we have the potential for a recession is coming, just wait, they just praying for it to come, we continue to see the economy do well. And it really does go back to small business and the policies of this administration, the deregulation, unleashing small business to do what they do best and to grow, and giving them allowing them to keep more money by reducing taxes on small business has allowed them to grow and hire and create more jobs. And that's why we're seeing the benefits of this. So we really do need to think about small business on Saturday and make sure we shop there.
You're so right. Elaine, I want you to stick with me for a minute. I'm going to go to word from our sponsors, but I want to get into some of the statistics here that I think our audience would be very interested in because they're kind of fascinating. So stay with us, Elaine. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. You've found your home of the truth.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
With the best analysis in America.
You can't handle the truth.
And now back to the John Fredericks Show.
You got him with Elaine Parker. She is president of the Job Creators Network Foundation, the mastermind behind the new plan, which is the new health plan for America, which is health for you. Healthcare for you. You can go to healthcareforyou.com, healthcareforyou.com. Elaine, people don't realize this, but over 50%, over half of the nation's entire workforce work for small businesses. Over half. It's also creating small businesses 2/3 of all new jobs. I mean, this is a phenomenon that people just don't realize until you say the numbers and you actually speak to them. It's like, wow, half the country's employed with small businesses, 2/3 of every new job created is with small business. Why wouldn't you be supporting small business?
John, we like to say small business is too big to fail because they do impact this country in such a huge way. Like I said, you've got 30 million small business owners. They're employing over 60 million people. So that's 90 million people dependent on the success of small business. And that's before you ever count their dependents. So you're talking about probably well over a third of the country dependent on the success of small business. And that's why it's so important that we have policies in place that help them grow and create more jobs. And in the last 2.5 years, that is what we have seen from this administration through lower taxes, less regulation, even better access to capital, because we've seen some of the Dodd-Frank regulations pulled back that hurt community banks so badly. And so all of those things have allowed small business to just, explode with growth. And we hear it from our members all the time, all over the country. We've got one member in Pennsylvania who was able to double the size of his facility. He was able to create 29 new jobs. He increased wages. He gave bonuses. And for the first time in his 15 years of existence, he was able to actually create a 401k retirement plan. And one of the reasons why that's so important where he lives, he's in rural Pennsylvania, and they have been seeing continuously a loss of young people leave their town. And that's problematic from a growth standpoint and sustainability with a small rural town. When he starts offering those types of benefits to keep young people there and give them a future and a career and retirement and benefits, they'll stay and they'll raise their families. That's very important to local economies like that. And that's a direct result of tax policy that came right out of Washington, D.C. and the White House.
Well, in 2019, 1.7 million jobs were created, new jobs. The unemployment rate went under 3.5%. And as we all learn in economics, when you get to 3% unemployment, you're at full employment because that's just perpetual transition. This is the lowest level Americans have had since the early 1960s. Wage growth surpassed 3% every month for the first time since it's been recorded. So we got all these things happening, and yet, we're debating impeachment and things like that. I don't want to get into that with you right now, but it's kind of amazing as we go into this holiday season that we're not celebrating this phenomenal economy. Okay, I'm almost out of time, Elaine, but I want you to think of something. I am running for a national Republican delegate again. My slate is likely to win again from the district that I represent in Virginia. I'm likely to get on rules again and in Charlotte. And I would like to put your healthcareforyou.gov, try to get that as part of the Republican platform for 2020. What do you think?
I think that would be fantastic. It gives this plan, this framework, will give the American people a clear choice between Medicare for all and health care for you. And it is an opportunity to give the American people what our market research shows that they want, and that's personalized health care. They want choice, affordability, and they want to be in control of their own health care decisions. And none of that is happening under Obamacare, and it will absolutely be blown up under a Medicare for all system.
All right, well, keep that in mind. Talk to the powers to be. And let's huddle on that as time gets closer. But that's what I would like to do is insert that in the RNC platform, and at least if I bring the motion early, it's got to be debated, and I think if it's debated, it gets in. And we've also got the back of the White House. So the plan you developed could be the national plan that Republicans run on in 2020. Imagine that, Elaine. Imagine that you could be the one and your organization developed the Republican plan that helps them gain control of Congress back in 2020. Imagine that. Elaine Parker, that's pretty neat. That puts chills up your spine, right? I mean, that's pretty neat that you guys would have done that. I'm going to see to it that it happens. But right now, Elaine, I have to go. So thank you.
Thanks, John.